Good morning, artists. I want to just read the announcements to you and make sure that you get it in two different formats when you watch this video and when you read it, so that you are sure to get all the information. So, your visual lyric product, I made it, the project I made it due on Monday. If you take the modification, though, you can turn it in a little later than that. I'm going to have to close the grades at a certain point. That's closer to the end of the term. I'll have to determine what that is, because it's a really bad idea to try to wait to the end of the term to do all your work. You'll then be really overwhelmed, right? So I'm getting some students letting me know that they feel stressed out about my class. I never want you to be stressed out about this class. I know this is a really tough situation, and that I want you to know that I'm being asked to do certain things that I know aren't going to work for all learners. So understand that if you have certain marks in PowerSchool, that's what it is in this situation, and it doesn't necessarily mean that's the kind of learner that you really are, and that this situation is temporary. So don't stress. I know this is a difficult time. It's definitely difficult for me as well, trying to help you. And just remember that if you're putting messages into Google Classroom, I might not see them. It's the best way to get in touch with me is to email me, or I am, able to see you on Team One, but I'm trying to just pop around on art days in person as well now, for in-person students. But for remote students or for anyone, it might be best just to set up a private Zoom so we can talk face-to-face about whatever it is that's going on. Or if you want to have help and get started working on something, I am happy to set up a Zoom where I can give you suggestions privately and help you get your stuff done. So next week, I want to do something really light and fun and hands-on. So I was going to try some watercolor techniques with you next week. So I'm asking you to have this stuff ready. A set of watercolors, your sketchbook you should always have with you, or several sheets of unlined paper. Try to get some plain white paper. Copy paper is not thick enough to paint on, so I was hoping that you had your sketchbook paper. A pencil, a few paper towels, watercolor set, a brush, a water container. The water containers that I like to use at home are like this old tomato container, tomato sauce, and you can see there's a lot of paint on it. I like those, and I even like them for my little kids because they're heavy and they're less likely to tip over. But at school, we can't have glass, and you don't want to be carrying that around. So something like a recycled yogurt or plastic container. It doesn't even have to be this big. It could be quite small, like I don't know, fruit, like diced peaches or something, a little container. And I have some plastic cups that I'll have out at school next week. So if you have some masking tape, that's good, but there's no pressure to, if you don't have every single one of these. I don't want you to start getting stressed out about that. And so I said, if you're at home, there's some other things in my list here that you could try, and you'll see next week when we get to that. So, struggling students, another announcement. I have mostly my marks in for the first two projects. I'm finishing those up today and maybe over the weekend. But a struggling student includes anyone with an LP. They show up red in PowerSchool. So you'll know when you look if you have an LP. And anyone who's not been completing the Google Classroom assignments for whatever reason. If you are just sitting and not taking advantage of that time and you haven't been doing the work, Now's the time to start taking advantage of that time. And next week, for example, you're going to be painting, so it's going to be really obvious to everyone if you're not doing the work, and that should be really fun and, again, light for you, not as much on the computer. If you're not able to complete the regular assignments, I am going to post modifications, which means it's a modified or simplified version of the assignment, right? So I do expect you to complete at least the modifications, and I'm going to post them on Google Classroom under the topic modifications. I have the one for visual lyrics, which is so simple. Pick a song that you like, get some art supplies, and listen to it and respond to it visually. Step 3, really important, turn it in. It's better to do something in this situation than just to do nothing. And you could do that during the class period today, that 5th period, 11:58 to 12:42 block. When you do your artist statement, a modification I'm offering this year for all students is if you can't deal with another written thing on the computer, you might find it easier to just take a video. So you can do that, and I do want you to be aware I've attached to today's Google Classroom the artist statement guide, right? So if you don't answer all the questions, particularly the questions about explaining what 2 artistic behaviors you used and how did you use them, that is not going to be more than a DP. So, you know, the developing proficiency that you're still learning, if you can discuss the artistic behaviors and you're aware of those and how that impacts your process, that's just what an 8th grade level artist statement and 8th grade level reflection I'm hoping for. Okay, so then there's the link to Artsonia right on this assignment, and I think that's it. And I can't wait to see what you did. Make sure you tell me what song and who the artist was, and if you can find the song, I can, just listen to it. You can either put the lyrics in your artist statement, or you can just put a link to the song. If some lyrics are really important to me and understanding what you wrote, your artist statement is so important right now because I don't see you working. You have to really explain to me what it is that you want me to get out of your assignment. All right, can't wait to see the work.